How's it going, Jared? Hey, how you doing? Are you muted? I can't hear you. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Tim.
Doing all right?
Yes, sir. And you?
Yep, not too bad.
Awesome.
We got Jared on, but I'm not hearing him. So,
There we go.
all right.
Should be working.
Yeah, there we go. Somebody's
Hey, what's up, brother?
doing all right.
Yeah, first time for my phone, so trying to figure it out.
Oh yeah. So, is that you on the phone there, or is that you the video, or both?
I guess I didn't know there was two of them. All right.
There's somebody that's on phone. I don't know with the area code of 6. I can't tell. Let me look at my glasses.
Yeah, I think that'd be 610, Jared.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, how did everything go for the weekend? Did you guys uh, get a lot accomplished? I know I didn't get a whole lot accomplished this weekend.
I had a busy one myself, but real good and productive. I didn't do a lot with my music stuff over the weekend, but I had some other things going on. So, but other than that, it was productive.
Yeah, I did write a song. I put that in that list that I'd sent out to you guys.
Uh-huh.
I added it on later. It's called Determination. So I mean,
Nice.
it's just a rough song, but that's about the extent of my talent as far as uh, doing music.
Yeah.
So
Did have we heard, I may have missed it. I'm still playing a smidge of catch up here, but I didn't hear it in last week's meeting with John. But when is this work tape due?
I don't know. Work tape. What was that supposed to
Well,
be?
they started that on the first weekend with Kathy, and
Oh,
uh, and just talked about work. I know people have been submitting songs, but I didn't know, were we still following that procedure of, hey, within, because what they said was in a month you'll give us a work tape.
yeah. Well, from my understanding, from what John's been saying, he's just been saying that right now we're not worried about doing a song. We're just I'm getting some messages to see what this is.
Christina needs the Zoom link.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can figure out how to send it to her. I think it's in that email.
Yeah, the one you sent earlier today. It is.
Uh-huh. Let's see. I can resend that email. Did I not send it to everybody? I thought everybody was in the.
Yeah, it was in the group, Lucky 7 group.
Yeah. And who was leading it?
Christina, California, Christina.
Okay. All right. See if I can just send that directly. Yep, just got another message.
From Joanna.
Oh, it's from Joanna. Okay. Okay. I'll post it there. Okay, let me see if I can figure out how to post it there. Let's get my email.
And Harriet.
Yeah, Harriet said she's on holiday, right? Catch the replay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So. Trying to find it on my phone so I can send it to her. Sent items. Okay. All right. Okay.
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I just sent it to Christina. So I don't know if you could see me the whole time or not, but I was trying to. Hey, Daniel. Doing okay?
Hey guys, yeah, I'm just gonna post the link for Christina right now. She was just asking for it in one of the Facebook chats.
Yeah, I sent her the email again just directly to her. I don't know whether she'll see that one or not, but what I did was I just scheduled, from now to like the next couple of months. If you can't make that meeting or you don't want to do that meeting, you want to do a different one, I can schedule that too. I just wanted to have something scheduled so I won't have to be doing the same thing every week saying, hey, we're going to have a meeting today or whatever. So I just scheduled that one. And if we need a different time or a different day or whatever like that, then I can cancel that one and we'll do another one. But whenever I do it, that's what I want to do on the schedule, at least one a week for the next, month or so or a couple of months or whatever. That way I don't have to be worrying about that.
I think that's a good idea to have that set schedule.
Yeah.
Set schedule. And then if people can make it, great. If not, then we'll try and, have some other ones at different times and stuff like that.
Yeah. And that boxer thing too. Whenever I was reading the post that all the other team captains were posting on, to John, they were talking about how they're really using Boxer a whole lot and really, communicating 3 or 4 times a week. I was like, whoa, that's I'm slacking on my job if I'm not making that happen.
No, that's no pressure.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a lot of people together on the same schedule too. It's just in general. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys have. I was working at a rehearsal studio for a while, so I would see bands come in all the time, and then at the end of band practice, you see the band like arguing about when the next band practice is. For they would spend like a half an hour arguing about like who's available, what days, and stuff. And it seems to be the biggest complication for anyone, really.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hi guys, I'm here too. I'm gonna turn off my video though because I'm driving.
Okay.
Oh my Lord.
But I'm here.
Don't wreck.
No. And thanks Tim for pushing. It's just it's hard. It's hard getting everyone together, but it's great that you're trying.
I'm trying. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So we were supposed to have 3 songs with everything. Who was the producer? Who was the music supervisor? All of that stuff. Wasn't that supposed to be this for today?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah,
I
I've been super far behind on staying on top of the things lately. I did watch the last video to try and catch up. I've just had a lot of recording sessions this week, and I've been trying to do my best to stay on top of it. But I actually did have. It's funny because Christina and I had actually started a playlist of music because it was like more poppy, like kind of upbeat type stuff.
Yeah.
Like that first one that I posted that was what was it?
Club Yoko.
Club Yoko. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we kind of just we're aiming in that direction, so we took a few of those songs and like listed them together. But I could read them off to you if anybody's interested, or post them. I'll post them in the group chat or something.
I'm a little behind on finding like supervisors because it's mainly ad placements for a lot of those tracks. But I haven't really researched that on the ad side. I don't know if anyone else has a good idea of like what, because a lot of ad agencies works with like music houses, I think, right? And then the music houses hire or finds the songs or hire musicians, I think.
Yeah, did you see that one that John posted up?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think it was, is when he posted it up. I like to never found who that was. I finally found who it was, the ad agency anyway, but it took me a long time to find it, and I'm not even sure if that's the right one because it didn't say verbatim that they do Life Water. It just said they do Pepsi. So, and Pepsi owns Life Water. So I'm just assuming in that post that what I posted, that's the ad agency, but I don't know that for sure.
I guess licensing agents could be good to know. That would be like, I don't know, who would pitch it to the ad agencies a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important to know on whatever ad we choose, or if we're choosing an ad because we like the music and that's what we want to aim towards. I think it's good to know that a music supervisor working on that ad is choosing the type of music that we're into. We should probably find out who that music supervisor is, or that agency, or whatever that might be behind it. I think that's a good idea. So, what about you guys? Did you have a couple songs that you were that you had like looked into and stuff that you wanted to mention, or things that you're like aiming towards? Or?
Well, I found some. I don't have my notes right here in front of me right now, but I found like 3 songs like were from, it seemed like they would be close to what I would be doing. What did I do with that? It's probably here on my desk somewhere. So anyway, I did that, and I don't think I found but like one of the ad agencies, and I got behind getting that done. But I did. I already had the songs picked out. I had picked them out earlier, and and I just never did follow back up with it. I should have, but I haven't yet. So
it's funny because in the chat that the one that Kathy had, she had us like look up and find that other one, and people are finding it in like 30 seconds or a minute or whatever.
Yeah.
It seems super easy, but doesn't seem that easy to me to find those types of things. Or maybe I don't know the right way to search for it or anything. But
yeah, I think that's
I mean, if it's an ad, I'm just thinking as we're talking now, but if it's an ad, what the best way to find the agency is to see what agency that brand is using in the United States. So, because Lexus has like one agency or whatever, like Toyota has one agency that they have that has all their work. So I guess that's one way of looking, and that can be found in like online ad magazines and stuff, because it's always announced who wins what accounts at like brand accounts in the agency world. So that could be one way of finding what agency, if it's not listed anywhere specifically. But there's also like those ad magazines online. I think it's called Ad World, and there's about Ad Week is one that announces new agencies. Always like send press releases when they have a new really cool advertising or video. So it's usually posted in there. So that could be a good place to search for it. Who owns what brands accounts?
That's good info. I didn't know any of that. That's good to know.
Okay, yeah. I can post some links where, like, the Ad World, where they look and what they're always like eager to be seen in those magazines and stuff. I know when we, yeah.
It's interesting because, like, I've got a friend. They're basically a bar band, but traveling band, and has a record deal, and so. But I know he was one of his songs off of a last album was used like in a Coors Light commercial, and I'm pretty, and because it was a SAG commercial, he was paid because he wrote it. He was paid because he sang in it. His wife was paid because she did background vocals.
Mm-hmm.
So he made some pretty good money off of that. We were estimating probably $200,000 or $300,000.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Because of the nature of that kind of ad. But I mean, but that wasn't something that obviously, he's just a band, and I guess his record company got the deal for him or whatever. He's got a couple of commercials that his stuff was used on, and even I don't even know if he got paid because people had his posters and shirts on and in television shows and stuff like that even. So, but my point being is that wasn't a targeted deal, obviously, for Sync or anything. And even, when I've researched that, because I know all about it, because he and I talked, but even when I researched it, I couldn't even find all the listings of how that got placed and who did it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I went on iSpot TV, but it was so out of date. And so, I guess too, I wasn't paying for the information. So maybe I had to pay for it to find out that stuff.
Yeah, that was one of the things I found too, that if you paid, you could get the information if you paid for it. So
Okay.
but otherwise you got to just keep digging and digging and digging until you find some kind of article that relates to it,
I mean, one way to do it is also to go the other way, the reverse way of looking at DDB. There's not that many giant ad agencies. So you could, I mean, there are tons of small ones, but like one way, if you just wanted to kind of narrow it down, is to look at like, what does DDB do? What accounts do they have? Brand accounts, for example. They might have Toyota and I don't know, they wouldn't have 2 car brands, but like they probably have some water brand or some, like they just, each agency owns a certain amount of brands, accounts. So you could see that way, but it should be easy to find what agency, like if you search for the brand, let's say Lexus, and just say what agency owns the Lexus account. That should be fairly easy to find that way. It might be harder to find like who was a music supervisor for this specific ad. That might be a more narrow search, but at least you can find who the agency is, and then you could find on LinkedIn who is the music department at DDB. Not all agencies has a music department, but sometimes it's just a creative director who just picks randomly from what the ads that I've worked on is like, it's just such a like person thing, like the creative director just like, oh, I heard this awesome song, let's license that one. Like it could be just anyone in the office saying that they heard a cool song and that just becomes the song they want. So it's very random, but that could be a way to search. Like if you find the agency, then you can maybe find via LinkedIn a person that is in charge of music.
Yeah.
It's quite a distance to go to look but if you really want to find something, that is a way to find it. Okay.
Yeah, and like that one for that I was looking for today. First of all, you got to figure out, like with them, they were owned by Pepsi, so that's the first step. Okay, you got to figure out, do they work directly with an ad agency, or are they under the auspices of a large conglomerate like Pepsi? You have to figure that out first.
Usually each brand still has their own agency. Even if they're owned by Pepsi, that doesn't matter what agency they go with, usually. So because Pepsi owns, I think, Vitamin Water and things like that. And Vitamin Water has their own agency. I worked with them a long time ago, but they had nothing to do with Pepsi, even if they're owned by a bigger company.
Well,
so I don't think you have to go that far.
See if you can find that one, that John posted up. When you get the opportunity, try to see if you can find it.
Oh yeah,
because I had a hard time finding it.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Yeah.
And Ron, you had actually mentioned, so the band that your friend was in, if they were signed to a label, there might be a particular licensing agency that label uses exclusively or something too. So there might be, or it could have been depending on the size of the label. If it's a larger label, they might have their hands in other stuff, like say, Warner Records or something. If something's on Warner Brothers, then, or even a sub label of Warner Brothers, then like if there's using Warner Brothers, like even a TV show on Warner Brothers or something that they're doing at their studios, I feel like they have the power to like use their music first. If it's under one of their labels, I feel like they might go digging through their repertoire of music before they start reaching outside of their larger branch of companies and stuff like that. Although that's an extreme example because of Warner is such a large company, but even something like that, I know labels do things like that all the time. They work almost like a family, like with other particular companies. They kind of like.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that label is under one of their sub labels under another big one or not. I know he had a song that was placed like with that cartoon show, that DDS. It was back years ago, and his agent or whatever got that one for him, and I think he actually walked with the money, so he never got anything out of it. But and so they fired the agent. But anyway, so I think some of it is the label. I think some of it's his own agent, switching around. But I would think, yeah, if they've got, hey, here's another avenue that we can get our guys' music's out there, they're gonna, go for that. Obviously. Because he's been on Conan 2 or 3 times, done some stuff, but he's never, he's only had like one alt rock top 40 song, or two of them top 40 songs, and he'll play all the big, mega things, the big music festivals and stuff like that too. So, but yeah, so it's really interesting. I knew in talking to somebody else in the business that it was some pretty serious money because it was a Screen Actors Guild deal, so it paid, really well for everything, not just, the placement and all that stuff. So
yeah, Coors Light, I would imagine Coors Light commercial is probably some good money.
Yeah, and I think I got a couple thousand runs, and I remember seeing it, during ball games and stuff like that all the time, a season or 2 ago. So
that's awesome. What a good place.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
when it's not even something you're necessarily pitching and looking for, and somebody just picked it up. That's pretty nice little extra for you.
For sure.
Yeah, totally. It's probably really nice when you just trying to write music and then release an album, and it just happens to fit something just perfectly anyway, when it wasn't really the intention. Like we're kind of right now, we're kind of all setting the intention of like hopefully trying to pitch our music for licensing. And so we're trying to come up with ideas. But yeah, if they were just writing songs, just from their heart or whatever, which is still what we're all trying to do as well. But If they just wrote their music and it just happened to work out, that's got to be the best that there can be.
Yeah, I mean, he had an intro song at the beginning of the movie Contraband with Mark Wahlberg a few years back, and they just played it, in an opening scene kind of deal. So, it was real cool. But none of it was written for anything that was used for. It just kind of filled the gap, and they're really. His name's J. Roddy Walston in the business, and so they're really, their show is kind of wild and crazy and wild alt rock stuff. So it fit for whatever the director.
Do you mind posting the link to the video so we can see that ad that he got?
Yeah, I'll put them in. I'll grab the Contraband one from the movie and from the Coors Light, and it, it's a 30-second clip and like you guys have talked about. It's not even the song of him singing, it's just the screaming parts of the song during the commercial, and so they spliced it up and edited it where there's really none of the main vocals of it. It was just, I guess, the sound they wanted for the commercial. So yeah, I'll grab it and drop it in the group.
Yeah, that one that John posted up was that when you go listen to the real song, it's nothing like what they spliced it up for to do for the LifeWater commercial. It's totally different. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I did. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I did listen to that John, the one that John posted. I did listen to the artist, and I actually went back and listened to her whole album, and the whole album was great.
Oh, okay. I listened to a couple other videos, because I went, it took me to a YouTube link, and after that one played, another one played.
Oh, it's the Ingrid Don't Kill My Vibe. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. She signed with a publisher that has a pitching department. She signed she's Norwegian, and she signed to this Extreme Music, or no, not Extreme. I can find it, but and I know that they have a pitching department because I worked with another artist from that label, and she, I think they just pitched directly to the agencies from that publisher.
Oh wow.
I'll find. It's a little hard to find that. That publisher has a bunch of huge artists on it, but I can't think of it by just on the top of my head. But that's how I think it worked in that case. I don't know who the music supervisor at the agency was, of course, but I don't think there was a licensing company in between.
Yeah, and I don't know who her producer is. I'm going to look it up right now.
Because they're giant. Sorry.
I think you're kind of breaking up a little bit, Christina.
Oh, okay.
It was when you were taking that left turn, so.
Happens every time.
Yeah, I know. It will get worse now, actually. So I'll just be quiet from now on.
No, you're good. Hey, I was asking Tim before everybody jumped on. Are we still, in the original meeting with Kathy, our first meeting, she talked about in a month we're going to be submitting a work tape. And I know everybody's been submitting music, and obviously a lot of people's music was already developed and already produced. Nobody's probably produced anything since we started the class. But have we heard anything else about, when a work tape and how we're doing any of that?
Well, like I said, whenever I was looking at the team leaders and what they already got songs that they've done together and all kinds of stuff. So, but what I was saying a while ago, what John was saying is we're not worried about songwriting and making tracks right now. We're just going over all the kind of the prerequisite stuff. So I don't think we've got one done in a month. I mean, that's something we can ask him.
I mean, is that all individual that we're? I mean, I wasn't sure that our group is supposed to be producing something. Is that
No,
what your understanding is?
yeah, well, I mean, I think you can go at it from several different routes. You know, I think if you've got music you think is relevant and is pitch worthy right now, you can do that route. You can do your own, you know, yourself. You can go that route, or you can also work with either your own group or someone outside the group that's in another group, or whoever you want to work with, and do that
Sure.
too. So I think there's a lot of different avenues. You know, I think what they're encouraging is us to work together, you know, so that on down the line, you know, if we're working together, then if one of us has success, it may help some of the other ones of us have success too. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
that was
Okay.
my understanding. Anybody else
Yeah.
have a different understanding?
I think that sounds about right. I just got a warning. Oh, there's like 10 minutes left in
Yeah.
our thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, you know, you get the 40 minutes for free. So
Right. I am going to sign up for Voxer. I haven't even done that yet, but if the other groups are doing that and they say that it's working pretty well, I got to do that.
yeah,
Yeah, I just signed up for Voxer.
the
What's different?
the walkie-talkie one is you have to pay for that. You know, if you're just going to talk directly walkie-talkie. But the way you sent that to me today, Ron, you know, where it's just a recording and then I respond back to
Yeah.
you recording. That's the way that works for free. I don't know what it is per month, and I don't know if all of us are willing to do that or not want to do that or whatever.
I mean, is that any different or better or worse than Messenger since we're already in a Facebook group?
You just, you know, with that, you're just hearing people's voices, and it, you know, I don't know if, like I said, if those other groups are paying for it, then yeah, you can just hit it anytime and say, hey, Ron, how's it going?
Right.
And you come right back, you know, with the
Right.
walkie-talkie kind of deal. But I don't know how beneficial that would be for us right now. Maybe later on it would be.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
I don't know. Maybe. I think the Facebook group is pretty good. Sometimes I miss a few of them and have to go back and watch them, but or read through the some of the messages. But I feel like the Facebook group is pretty good. And then also with this scheduled weekly, because it's a kind of a contrast with, at least we're having like an interactive conversation, and there seems to be like very low latency or almost no latency. So I think that's pretty good, because other video chats I've done, it's been real. There's a major disconnect in the timing stuff. This seems pretty smooth as far as that's concerned. So at least that's nice.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, that's good.
And I've been doing the email too, just in case somebody misses or can't, you know how those messages in Facebook Messenger kind of, you know, you might see them, you might not, you know, it's the way it works, you know. Most of the time you can see them and it, you know, pops up on your phone or whatever like that. But if you're in a bad area and you don't have a good signal, you may miss it and then you don't know about it or whatever. So at least the email is there. So I'll try not to send too many emails just when it's something like that.
No, it's good.
I think that's great. And I think you're doing a great job of staying on top of it and keeping us together as a group. I think you're
thank you.
Good group leader. Woo.
Yeah. So did any of you guys change your song for Samantha this coming Thursday, or are you just sticking with the one you originally picked?
I'm leaving the same one that I had submitted earlier, which is kind of a really, I mean, it's a bit of a cheesy like synth pop sound to it, and it was just an instrumental, really. So it's like specifically for Ad, which I know is not what she does, but I feel like I can't pull it now, or like I don't know. So I didn't want to submit anything else, and I'm just going to leave that for now. I've been working on a bunch of other songs in the meantime, but I'm not done with production on them, so I'm going to probably wait until the next couple of. She made it sound like we're going to be meeting with a music supervisor every 2 weeks or so. So I think I'm trying to. I think Christine's here. Yo, all right, cool. Hang on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me go out a little bit.
Yeah, if we get cut off, we can have a meeting afterwards if we want to or whatever like that. I think it says we got like 5 minutes left. So, well, we can connect back again if you want to do that too. But we've got that other meeting at 3:00. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Or is it? There's one at noon, and then there's another one at 3.
yeah, noon for you. Yeah.
Oh, right.
I'm Eastern time.
No,
I'm
3
near
for
New York.
us. Yeah.
I'm right near New York City, so it's 3 for me.
Gotcha.
30
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah. Hi guys.
Okay. Yeah. So we got 5 minutes. So anybody else want to comment on that? Are you keeping your same song, or did you change it for Samantha this coming week?
I just mentioned I kept my same song that I.
Oh yeah. I haven't even submitted yet. I will. I'm mixing it right now. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I just think it's good because she's going to keep it in her music folder from us. If she ever does need anything, she's got that to go through. So that's pretty good. And the other thing I wanted to ask too is how many of you became like Facebook friends with the last person that we had?
I actually just did that today. I saw him in like my possible friends or whatever, and I saw that there was like 27 people from our main group that's already friends with him or something like that. So I was like, oh, okay. And I just sent him a friend request. I didn't send him a message or anything yet.
Yeah.
I was just gonna kind of wait to see if he responds to my friend
He
request.
responded to me, so
Nice.
He accepted my friend request, and then I sent him a message too, and told him, basically that, I'm near New York City. If he ever needs anything done here, I'm the guy. I can go take care of it for him, whatever it is.
Nice.
Little snoozing,
Yeah.
I could be a gopher, whatever it takes. Right?
Tim will not be denied. He is the man.
So I didn't hear anything back, but that don't mean anything. When he may say, "Hey, I need somebody to pick me up at the airport," I guess that'll be me.
Yeah.
Hey guys, can I ask, when you submitted to Samantha, did you think about her shows? Like, did you do research on her, or did you just submit your best work?
I submitted because my work is all like dark and all of that stuff. So the most like kind of thing that I thought might make it into like a movie or something like that, like a romantic comedy or something. That's what I submitted. Okay. So I can't remember whether I posted it with you guys or not to let you know which one I did. I think I put that in the Facebook on our Lucky 7's page. I think it's called Girl of Your Dreams. That's the one that I submitted. So it's just like it would fit in a romantic comedy. So, but I don't have many songs like that.
How about the other guys?
I haven't submitted a thing, so I mean, I've written since we started. I've written about 7 songs, and some I've just laid a track or 2 down just to get a feel for it. And so, other than that, I haven't gone any further. So there's nothing there that's submittable.
Yeah. Is that Jared? The other guy?
Yeah.
Hi, Jared. Did you submit something?
Finally, nice to see you guys.
Hey.
But yeah, the one I submitted, I just kept. It was short, but it had a bunch of different parts in the song, so I felt like that might be the, a good way to get in there. But no, I never looked up what kind of stuff she's done or what she looks for. I just kind of put something in my best thing that I had.
Oh, okay.
How about you guys?
I looked her up, and it's like I don't have anything except for maybe something new that she's got going on, because it was all a lot of like hip hop kind of stuff, and I don't do that. So that's what most of it was.
R&B, soul, yeah.
Yeah, I looked her up, and I did look at all the shows that she worked on, and it seemed like she actually had a lot of soul, but there's also a pretty wide variety of things, because I guess it just depends on what the scene calls for. So there could be all kinds of other stuff in the backgrounds as well that she would need access for. So
Yeah.
even though it's mostly like for mood setting for the scenes, I would imagine that she's using particular songs most of the time, but she probably needs still a wide variety of different things, I would imagine.
It was interesting. One of the songs that, one of the shows that's going to be new that she's going to be working on is like somebody that can see into the future or something like that. And that might, I might be able to fit into that one, but, because
Did you find information on that show? I never found information on that show.
No, I looked, but I read the synopsis, what it was supposed to be. But I couldn't find any info on it. But that's supposed to be one of the next things she's working on. It's going to be
maybe
2020, I think.
Maybe I should submit